Hey guys, Obesbo here, or Goofy. This is the first video I'm posting on Facebook and YouTube. Sometimes people don't really like watching videos on YouTube, and sometimes I watch videos on Facebook and vice versa, so I just basically said screw it, I'm gonna upload to both. This first video is going to be on the T-Rex Arms Kydex Appendix Sidecar in the Rebel Pilots color scheme. This has a extra magazine pouch integrated with the primary holster that houses my FNS9 long slide with a Surefire X300 Ultra. This is the A model, not the B, unfortunately. I've been running a couple different holsters lately. I carry a Dark Star gear and this one. When I go to a range, I carry outside the waistband with a KT Defender made by KT Mag. Like, no. It's also for my X300. The only holster that, I only have 3 holsters, so, you know. The holster that does not have a light compatible feature is the Dark Star gear. Unfortunately, I really want the Rampage, but it has not come out yet, and I don't exactly have the funds to purchase it yet. This is basically the most expensive holster that I own. It was custom made, obviously. They don't just have a bunch of FNS9 long slide with a Surefire X300 on it laying around. So this took about 4 or 5 weeks to get. Actually, relatively quick if you compare it to people like JM Custom Kydex, Dark Star gear. So those are pretty much my favorites, which would be JM and Dark Star gear, absolute favorites. The TRX is moving up. I would like to cover a couple different things on this, namely things that I don't really like and things that I do, obviously. So this carries very well. Well, I live in Florida, so as you can imagine, it's generally warm year-round with a couple exceptions. So I wear pretty much the same thing day after day, which is jeans and t-shirt. That's it. I don't wear anything else unless I'm going to special occasions or I'm with the family. It's a little different, but not much. Generally the same place, which means appendix works pretty much everywhere. For me, at least. A lot of other people don't like it. I don't mind. I mean, I like it. They do what they do. That's fine. This is particularly interesting because I chose to go with a 5-inch long slide gun. Very, as you can see, it's a big gun. So, which means generally it's going to be a little harder to conceal. It has a full-size grip, 5-inch barrel, and a big-ass flashlight, which means it's generally harder to conceal. But I've found with the T-Rex Arms, it's actually relatively easy in the appendix location. You still get a little bit of a bulge, but I mean, you're putting something extra that is not you in your pants, so obviously you're going to get a bit of a bulge. But it handles the light relatively well. It carries pretty good. Overall, I would definitely recommend it. It's a great holster. Now, I think it would be even better with a slightly smaller gun, which maybe a mid-size gun, 250, 320, Glock 19. So actually getting onto the holster, obviously, like I said, big gun. If you're going to have problems concealing a gun, it's probably with a big gun like that. So onto the holster. So, like I said, Rebel Pilot scheme, the white on the orange. I'm a big Star Wars guy. Like, really big Star Wars guy. I got those colors just because I thought that was really awesome. Not a lot of people were doing that. There were a couple custom people that were kind of dabbling with the Star Wars thing, but nobody really made it super streamlined. Initial impressions when I got it, it's a very nice rig. It is a bit bulky, but I mean, that's kind of something you have to expect just because it carries a magazine, a flashlight, and a 5-inch barreled gun. So you're going to have a bit of an issue. Now, that's not an inherent design with the holster. That's my choice. I chose to have a 5-inch gun, and I chose to put a big-ass light on it. So that's on me, not the holster manufacturer. Now, there are some things I'm not so crazy about, namely the retention of the spare magazine on this holster. It tightens up a little bit when you're concealing it and you've actually have it on your body, but this is very loose. I mean, it just, no, actually today, nope, never mind. It's a little loose, it doesn't click at all, a little disappointing, and something slightly irritating is that FN guns, or FNS9 mags, have this little tab that pokes out so you can't over-insert when you seat the magazine. So this, when I'm when I'm putting the magazine back in the pouch, it hangs up there, It's a little annoying. I understand this is not necessarily a popular gun, but the KT Mech magazine pouch remedies that with a little flange here, which I actually really like. And I mean, you have no problem whatsoever putting those in. So I wish they would have done that differently. Again, I kind of understand that it's not necessarily a popular gun, but I definitely think you should vet all of your designs before releasing them. Saying that, it's pretty small. Another thing, I'm not so crazy on the retention. It's not terrible, but it's not awesome. When you insert, again, this is another issue. Most of the retention comes from the flashlight. I had to tighten it down pretty far to get decent retention. Before tightening this down, it was pretty loose, and there's no real click. It's just kind of a there's, like I said, there's not really a click. Now, retention off a flashlight, I can assume, is going to be a little different. This one clicks. The KT Mech clicks a lot louder. Now, I will say one thing. This does reholster incredibly smooth. It's very, very nice. The reholstering is redonkadonk. I'm kind of a weird dude, hence the name Goofy. So that's kind of something to keep in mind. The retention's I don't have anything without a light. I do kind of want to get their appendix one that doesn't have the spare magazine, so I can compare it to the Dark Star gear, which is something that I plan on doing. It probably won't happen for a while, but I plan on it. So, I'm sorry, excuse me. It'll be no light, so it can be a direct comparison to the Dark Star gear. But this is what I have right now. So, retention's kind of an issue for both the gun and the magazine. Now, when it's on your body, it's a lot better. So, really, practically, it's fine. I haven't had an issue with it. The only real issue when I'm wearing the gun is it's a little awkward with the light. The placement of the gun, instead of really appendix, it kind of goes a little bit more centerline, which isn't so bad. It's not like right on my junk, but I mean, it's getting close. It's a little uncomfortable for getting up and down, but it is definitely remedied. I've driven with this on many times, and it's pretty comfortable. It's not as comfortable as the Dark Star gear. Of course, again, that doesn't have a light on it, so it's not really a fair comparison. When I'm driving, I definitely prefer appendix. I mean, that's really the only thing that I conceal, actually, at all. That's the only thing I conceal would be appendix. Again, big gun in the car, relatively comfortable. When I'm driving, I definitely prefer the Dark Star gear, but at night, I'd like to have a light. I generally carry a mag light with me, one of the little baby ones. It's like 90 lumens-ish. So, not as many as I'd want, but whatever. So, that's another thing to kind of note. Again, remedied probably by a smaller gun. But again, this is what I've chosen, so this is on me. I figure if a holster maker is going to be amazing, it's going to be with the most ridiculous thing you can carry, which would be this. 5-inch gun, U-boat, full size, and a spare magazine. Extended spare magazine. I've definitely stacked the odds, and you know what? I think this holster definitely delivered. This is kind of an initial review. I have had it, like I said, for a little while, so my opinions may change. Now, one thing really quickly before I let you go, the gun did not like holstering for the first part when I had this gun. It would shave Kydex off of the holster pretty significantly. I had a slight correspondence with the owner of the company. Pretty cool dude. I've talked to him kind of on Instagram. He commented, he said it should smooth out, and it indeed get much smoother. It is a buttery smooth holster. I will not lie. It is very nice. Although it took a little over 100, maybe a little more than that, to really smooth it out. So it kind of looks like I color filled my light, but whatever, who cares. And it also kind of looked like I was shaving Kydex, like significant amounts. I'll show pictures of that right now. So that's what you're going to be dealing with. Past that, like I said, I so far recommend the holster. We'll see how it goes further through me having this gun. So the retention was kind of an issue, a little bulky. Again, the very minor issues, and the only other thing would be the open bottom. When I do go shooting, I obviously carry appendix, I practice my draws, I shoot, and stuff like that. But one thing to note, it is a little bit warm when you reholster. The tip of the gun again, close to the junk, it's warm. So it's something to note, like if you shoot a bazillion rounds, you may have a slight issue, maybe not. I shot a lot past few times I've gone, and I reholster, I felt it. It was not uncomfortable and it wasn't hot, but I would be wary of leaving it there and shooting, putting it back, walking around, shooting, and putting it back again. I would be slightly wary, but I have not had that major issue as of yet. So right now, I've primarily been shooting with the Dark Star gear just because it is a completely closed bottom, and I don't feel as wary shooting it and then reholstering. Again, the size of the gun, he decided to chop the end off. He said it was less bulky, and that's totally fine. I'm okay with that, but I would have preferred a closed bottom, but you know what? That's all right. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.